What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I am doing an open tag video from the man TLTG Reviews. The video topic is one fragrance for every month of the year. Let's get into it. Now, I thought this one would be more difficult than it was, but it wasn't too bad. The main thing you need to take into consideration is just the weather. I live in California, so the weather here is kind of weird. It starts getting hot around here around April and May. And then that heat really just continues through the beginning of November. The beginning of November, we still had high 80s, low 90-degree days. So the weather here is kind of weird. But with that being said, let's hop into it. Now in January, it is still winter time and it is very cold here in California. So I'm going with Azzaro The Most Wanted. I don't think there's a better way to start off the New Year's than wearing this fragrance right here. This one is just very uplifting. It makes you feel good. It makes you smell good. This one has some cardamom on the top, which gives it this nice sweet spiciness, and then that immediately gets taken over by a toffee note. I always say this, but this fragrance almost smells edible, like a gourmand fragrance because of the toffee. And then there's some amberwood in the base, which gives us a nice slight woodiness. This fragrance right here smells like a night out in a bottle, in my opinion. Perfect for date nights. The stuff is a compliment monster as well. Performance on here is very good. I get 8 to 9 hours of performance. Definitely a great fragrance right here. And the one I'm wearing the month of January, Azzaro The Most Wanted. Now in February, it is still very cold here in California, so I am going with Polo Double Black. I'm a huge fan of the Polo Black line, and this fragrance pretty much takes the Polo Black DNA and you add in some coffee and some cardamom. So you still get that fruity tropical mango note up top that everyone loves. And then you add in that coffee and cardamom, which gives it like a sweet coffee feel. And there's some woodiness in the base. Fantastic for the fall and the winter time. I get 6 hours of performance out of here. I remember seeing in Ross's short video, somebody said they get 30 minutes of performance. They're lying their ass off. This is easily 6 hours of performance. And this is pretty nice because it doesn't project a lot, but you have this little scent bubble around you. So as you're moving around, you catch slight whiffs of yourself. It's not overwhelming. It's very pleasing, actually. A great one right here and pretty underrated in my opinion. But what I'm wearing the month of February, Polo Double Black. Now in March, it is pretty cold, but it's not as cold as the last 2 months. So for March, I'm going with La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique. Now for this, let's just act like this never got discontinued and I have as many bottles as I possibly need because I don't think I will ever wear this one to where the bottle is empty. But if it was a perfect world, this one would still be here and not discontinued. Some citrus on the top. You still get that cardamom DNA, which gives it this nice sweet sexiness, slight woodiness in the base. This one smells amazing. This is actually my only Yves Saint Laurent fragrance in my collection. I got it from Macy's. I remember this just came out and Macy's was already doing like a half off deal. I got this 60 ml bottle for I believe like $35. So Macy's probably knew it was being discontinued. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not too sure what performance is on this one. I've only worn it about 2 times. Since I've heard it's been discontinued, I haven't really reached for this one in a while just because I'm using my spray sparingly. I don't want to run out of this stuff. So I can't really tell you about performance because I haven't worn it enough to tell you guys about that. But this one does smell very nice, a little elegant. You could definitely dress this one up. Good for date nights as well. And what I'm wearing the month of March, La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique. Now in April, it is starting to heat up just a little bit. We are getting those mid 70-degree days, maybe low 80s. So the scent I am going with is Versace Dylan Blue. Love this stuff right here. It's such a joy to wear. I remember when I first smelled it though, I did not like it that much. But this is one of those fragrances that the more you smell it, the more you do fall in love with it. And now I think this stuff is amazing. The way I would describe this is you take Dior Sauvage, because this does have that sharp metallic shower gel feel, and you add in some tonka bean and incense in the base, which gives it like this nice sweet smokiness. This one is perfect for everyday use. You can wear it in any occasions and it's going to work perfectly. Performance on here is very good, guys. I get 9+ hours of performance out of this fragrance. Definitely a great release, and you could get it for an affordable price as well, in that $40 range. Really great fragrance right here. And what I'm wearing the month of April, Versace Dylan Blue. Now in May, it is heating up a good amount. It's in that mid 80s range. So for the month of May, I'm going with Drakkar Noir. I absolutely love this stuff right here. Not everybody loves it though. This one is very polarizing. It does have that old school masculine freshness, but in my opinion, you could definitely pull it off to this day. The scent DNA is kind of becoming more popular again. People say they pick up the Drakkar Noir DNA in like a Dior Sauvage Elixir, and I do pick that up a little bit. This stuff is amazing in my opinion. Very aromatic, woody, has some oak moss in the base. Like I said, that old school freshness. Honestly, I could probably wear this thing for an entire year. That's how much I love Drakkar Noir. Now, am I going to pull compliments during this month? Probably not, because like I said, not everyone loves this stuff, but I think it's still a great fragrance. Performance on here is decent too. I get 6 hours of performance. You can get this one for a very good price as well, in that $20 range. What I'm wearing the month of May, Drakkar Noir. Now we're in June. This is summertime. This is when we're getting those 95-degree days, sometimes 100-degree days. So the scent I'm going with is Acqua di Gio Absolu. Now this was a big toss-up between Absolu and Rasasi Hawass. I love both of these fragrances. They do smell similar, but they don't smell the exact same. In my opinion, I do think Absolu smells better. Acqua di Gio Absolu pretty much takes the Acqua di Gio DNA and combines it with Invictus. So it is very fresh, aquatic, sweet bubblegum. This stuff just smells so good. This is actually my very first fragrance ever. This is the one that kickstarted this whole hobby and passion of fragrances. I have worn the hell out of it. As you can see, I'm holding on to these last few sprays of this bottle. But I remember I got this for Christmas. My parents got me this, and I couldn't believe something could smell this good. And after I smelled this, I went into a Sephora and I saw other Acqua di Gio bottles that looked different. I tried the original Acqua di Gio, then I bought that one. And then that's how things kind of just kick-started. This one smells like summertime in a bottle. Performance on here is very good as well. I get 8 to 9 hours of performance. This is just a very fun, easygoing, invigorating fragrance right here. And the one that I'm wearing the month of June, Acqua di Gio Absolu. July, it is still very hot here in California. Mostly 95, 100-degree days. And I had to go with this one, guys. I'm going with Polo Black. I just love the Polo Black DNA. As you could tell, I have the entire line in this video. They really need to make a Polo Black Eau de Parfum. They need to expand on this line because I think that would be amazing. This one has that fruity tropical mango note, which just makes it smell so good. And then it has some greenness and some woodiness in the base. I remember I bought this off Fragrance Net for my dad for Father's Day. And I remember smelling him one day and I thought he smelled amazing. I was like, "What are you wearing?" And he said Polo Black. So I immediately had to go get myself a bottle. This is such a good fragrance in my opinion. The downside is it doesn't perform the best. I get about 4 to 5 hours of performance, but it's one of those fragrances. I think it smells so good and I love it so much. I don't care about the way it performs. I would highly suggest you guys get your nose on this one. I think you guys would love this. What I'm wearing the month of July, Polo Black. August, it is still very hot. August is probably the hottest month of the year here in California. So it's only right to go with Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Very fresh, slightly aquatic, has some pepper, some incense. The stuff is perfect for very hot days. Another one of those scents that just puts you in a good mood when you smell it. I think of summertime when I smell this one right here. Performance on here isn't the best. I get about 5 hours of performance. But again, if you could look past performance, the fragrance is amazing. Definitely a great option for the high heat summer days. You could wear it in spring as well. A big compliment getter as well for the summertime. A great one right here. What I'm wearing the month of August, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. September is still really hot here in California. It cools down just a little bit, but I still need something that's a little fresh, maybe with a slight density to it. So for the month of September, I'm going with Carolina Herrera Bad Boy Cobalt. This is my favorite blue fragrance in my collection. This one smells so good. Off the top, you get pink pepper and some lavender. So you get like this fresh spiciness. And this one has a plum note in the mid, which really just makes this fragrance smell amazing in my opinion. The plum comes off very fruity and sweet. and that combines with a big dose of woodiness in the base. This one's a big compliment getter. You're gonna turn heads if you're wearing this stuff right here. Performance is beast mode, guys. I get 10 plus hours of performance out of this fragrance. Another one I highly suggest you guys get your nose on. I will say though, this does smell similar to Invictus Platinum. So if you have Invictus Platinum, it may be a little redundant. Just keep that in mind. They don't smell the exact same, but they do smell pretty similar. But what I'm wearing the month of September, Carolina Herrera, Bad Boy Cobalt. Now in October, it is starting to cool down a little bit. Instead of 95 degrees, we're going towards 85 degrees, low 80s. So I am going with Dior Homme 2020. This is what I would imagine a Dior fragrance would smell like. Very fresh, modern, masculine, has an elegance to it, a classiness to it as well. This one is a very fresh, woody scent right here. Has some citrus on the top, but the main star here is the Isoi Super, so it has like this modern, masculine woodiness, but it's not really like a dark woodiness. This one is more of like a fresh woodiness, so you can pull it off when it's a little hot outside as well. Performance on here is very good too, guys. I get 7 to 8 hours of performance. This is a home run hit for Dior. One of my favorites from the brand. And what I'm wearing the month of October, Dior Homme 2020. We are finally in November, and this is when it is starting to cool down a lot. We're going from those 85, 80 degree days into the low 70s, high 60s. So I am going with the original Spice Bomb by Viktor and Rolf. Now this was a big toss-up between these two fragrances right here, but I would have to go with Spice Bomb because I do think it is more versatile. Bulgari Man in Black does have a boozy note to it, so it doesn't do that well in the mild heat, whereas this one, you could pull it off if you go lighter on the sprays because it does have sort of a fresh spiciness to it. Like the name indicates, a bomb of spice, has a little bit of sweetness as well as it dries down. This is one of the fragrances that when you smell it, you just think of the holidays, so there's no better time to wear it than the month of November. Performance on here is very good as well. I get 8 hours of performance out of this. I love this stuff right here. And the fragrance I'm wearing the month of November, Spice Bomb by Viktor and Rolf. Now December, this is very cold weather here in California, so I am going with No Limits by Philipp Plein. I was very shocked at how much I enjoy this fragrance. I remember this made its way around the fragrance community a few years ago, and people say they actually liked it. This one is very dark and woody. I believe there's some oud in here. It has some spiciness to it. It has a little bit of sweetness too, which really just makes this stuff smell great. I believe there's a chocolate note as well, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, this one is perfect for those super cold days because this cuts through the cold like it's nothing. This is another fragrance that is beast mode performance. I easily get 10 plus hours out of this stuff. Honestly, I would say if you're not going to be outside and you're going to be inside, I would go light on the sprays. 2 to 3 sprays is all you need of this stuff right here. I remember I went with 5 sprays once because I didn't know the performance, and it was overwhelming. I mean, you know, it's so strong and dark that it became headache inducing and it was just too much. So 2 to 3 sprays, you're good. And it's still going to have 10 plus hours of performance. People are still going to smell you even with 2 sprays. Another one that is pretty affordable. The price has dropped down on this a lot over the past few years. You can get this in that $40 range. A perfect one for super cold days. And what I'm wearing the month of December, No Limits by Philipp Plein. All right, that wraps up this tag video. Big shout out to Ross from TLTG Reviews for making it an open tag video. Keep doing your thing, man. Congrats on 100,000 subscribers. And I don't really tag people at the end of these videos because I am a smaller channel, but we're going to go for a big one right here, guys. I'm going to tag Justin Copeland from Stay Fresh Productions. I would love to see your take on this, man. I love your videos. If you see this and you do it, that would be amazing. If not, you know, it was worth a shot. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.